Welcome back to the grand finals of Alienware Cup. This is the last time we're actually saying this. There's no game 6, there's no game 7. So last introduction of the tournament. It's been an amazing tournament, 14 days of amazing games, amazing company, amazing people. We're having fun, but the game is underway. We've made our predictions. Now it's time for the players to shine, and of course, LD and Luminous to entertain us with the match.
Ogre Magi with an Alienware cup growing out of their shoulders.
And he's biracial. Look how modern and progressive we are here at Beyond the Summit.
No.
On that note, I didn't actually make my prediction before the break. I just realized that. I'm sticking with what I said before, 3-2 LGD China.
I'm flip-flopping. I'm going with LGD China. You got the momentum.
Oh, no, don't. Now, all right, now Navi's going to win.
Now you're going to
Lumi's flip-flopped. Well, it's going to be Navi taking game 3. Either way, it's been a hell of a ride. Thank you all so much for supporting the tournament. Again, this is the Alienware Cup. This is game number 5. If you aren't already doing so, you should be following Alienware Cup on Facebook, facebook.com/Alienware Cup. You can like their page there. Head over to twitter.com/Alienware Cup. You can follow them there as well. And of course, if you want spoiler-free VODs, alienwarecup.com, the place to go. There is a giveaway currently. If you want more information about that, head over to Facebook. Compendiums being handed out to lucky winners. But on that note, it's game 5 of LGD China versus Navi. The draft is now underway. I'm LD. He's Lumi. And we're just about ready to cast this one.
Yeah, and this is the first time in the entire series that Navi picks up Visage. I believe Kuroki normally plays this hero. I'd like to see Puppey go back on the Chen, but Visage and Chen, not exactly a kind of dual roaming combo that's very powerful early. They'll reserve their second pick on the support for now, and they pick up Gyrocopter, one of Vovos' best heroes.
Yeah, they get the Gyro. They actually go for the Visage. Navi's really been favoring the jungle heroes, the more passive laning. In the early stages.
Or the support hero that could do a lot more during a team fight, like a Rubik, like a Bane that has a ton of disable, or some big impact.
Or even a Doom, for that matter.
Sure. You could, Doom was kind
of basically a really farm support in that game.
Right. So Visage is kind of somewhere in between, doesn't do too well in any of these situations, does give you a lot of nuke. We saw the Visage up that one cliff, and he was just a Gatling gun.
He was
he was a siege cannon with soul assumption, but I'm not sure whether he's going to have that good of a nukage this game.
Well, with that being said, we talked about the intermission. Navi, they chose the Radiant side. They had the choice of pick or side. They could have gone first pick. They could have gone Dire side or second pick. They went for Radiant. So generally, Radiant's a bit better to aggressive tri-lane on, and they have a Visage, they have a Gyro, the makings of a very strong tri-lane. I'm curious if they want to take the fight to LGD early rather than letting it get to the late game.
I thought they chose it for the Funnick, for the actual safe jungle to pull a little bit easier.
Could still be the case.
Yeah, so I feel like, well, you do give away the Roshan advantage once she goes late.
I guess either way, there's this one way to look at it, which is no matter what they do with the Radiant, the advantages the Radiant has, they're all early to mid-game, like laning stage advantages.
And that's what Navi want to win at, I think.
They want to start fast.
Yeah. So Dragon Knight has been progressively moving up as a pick order throughout this tournament. It used to be like a 3rd pick, 4th pick.
Is he really worth a first pick?
I don't know.
He did a lot of work in that game, but you got to get there first.
I want to say on both the winning and losing end, at least in the winner bracket finals, loser bracket finals, and now the grand finals, Dragon Knight has been doing some work. He's been pulling his weight. And
it's funny. It's like as soon as Bruno started saying Dragon Knight mid's not that good, I wish teams would stop picking it.
Yeah.
The teams are like, we're going to make Dragon Knight work whether he's mid or whether he's safe lane, no matter what.
They still have not
just to prove Ice Frog wrong.
Pick the Space Cow
Spit in his eye.
So
no Space Cows.
Yeah, Bruno is just... Bruno, you're off the mic. You're done.
Free the Space Cow, he says. Free the Space Cow. Let Bruno's message live on. But LGD... You keep on saying that their best bet is split push and taking the game late.
Yes.
And with Dragon Knight and Nature's Prophet...
Or just push in general.
Okay. With Nature's Prophet, now they can go that way.
Right. And last game, they did go for that push. They knocked down a lot of early game towers, secure mid-game advantage, and just went for it. This game, it seems like LGD are going to start passively in the early game. And that's where it kind of gets scary if you're an LGD fan. Dragon Knight doesn't do too much in lane, just sits and harasses, and last hits. Nature's Prophet just sitting ducks until he gets something going. So I think LG Gaming have to pick some sort of aggressive support. They have been favoring Nyx Assassin quite a bit. They have been favoring Jakiro quite a bit as well. Let's see if they're going to go for those 2 supports.
Look at this. Navi banning out like it and doing it in the second stage. Not as a last ban, but doing it rather early. Worried about the split push, worried about the push in general. They have a support in Visage who cannot kill Lycan. The familiar stuns are no way to kill a hero that's got a spammable haste rune, basically. Obviously, Gyro doesn't have much lockdown, and they're just worried about push in general. They have decent counter push with Gyro, but he can't stop the push by himself. So even though they have a strong aggressive tri-lane, they just don't want LGD to be able to take early towers.
Yeah, we saw how LG China beat NAVI during the winner bracket final. It was through Lycan Throw plus Nature's Prophet, and if you guys don't know, how applies to every one of the treants, I believe, as well as the wolves, and it was just a big army of scary summons going on towers and stuff. So they do take away, and this is, I think Lycan was being banned out for the past 2-3 games as well. So NAVI definitely aware of the fact that LG Gaming can pick the hero.
Some people are saying they want Elgato for Havost. Navi needs to use an Elgato apparently, but I don't know if that's going to make a difference here. Leshrac will be the ban from Navi, and again, another hero that pushes. So they have the same, they're of one mind with you, Lumi. They're very worried about the push. We've talked about it a lot. Okay, let's move beyond that now. What is Dendi going to play mid? Will they actually aggressive tri-lane, and what's Funnick's hero? Those are the questions I'm most interested in.
I think Funnick is really at his best when he plays Bounty Hunter. He gets a ton of farm, and he does it very quietly. Track is really good, particularly against Dragonite, a hero that likes to chase quite a bit or run away quite a bit. Track helps out with that. It extends you in the late game by having a ton of track. What you don't get from that hero is push or counter push, but Navi is so good with the other heroes that they generally select that you don't need it from Funnick.
So maybe we'll see a Bounty Hunter.
Hopefully.
If they want to aggressive try, they could run the Clinks. We've seen the fun of Clinks.
Yes.
Is this a good Clinks game? You don't know what LGD's. I guess it could be a Prophet off lane. That's a pretty good matchup for Funnick. He should get a lot of farm off of that.
I don't think he's actually good against Dragonite, just simply how tanky he is. And he could kill Nature's Prophet, but that's pretty much it until he gets a Shadow Blade. Then your nature, then the Clinks have to yeah. Then he has to no. Like,
when the Prophet gets a Shadow Blade.
Right. Then he gets a lot more difficult to kill. Sure, you could carry gem, but at the same time, if you die with gem, things get a little bit awkward because they could use that same gem against you. I don't think this is a Clinks game, and LG Gaming now selects Rubik, a ton of great spells to steal, and of course, Call Down being one of the best of them.
Navi, starting to accrue a lot of AoE here. Good initiation with the Sand King Burrows Drake. This could be a tri-lane for them. It would be decently strong. The one issue is just their initiation range is lacking. They would need to find a way for the Sand King to worm his way in, and Sand King and Visage are pretty level-dependent support, so it's a risky, aggressive tri-lane. Maybe they're just going to abandon the off lane, in which case we could see that Funnick jungling Ancients. You mentioned the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter can mess with the Nature's Prophet a lot if he's in the jungle, but we've seen most Prophets start in the lane and just look to slow down the enemy support. So I don't know if they would go for the Bounty Hunter, but this is what I like to see from Navi. Dendi Queen of Pain, the anti-melee solo mid, a snowball hero, a Dendi hero. I think the right hero.
DK had a good time against Bat last game.
Not this game.
Not gonna even happen at all.
If somehow Yao wins the mid lane, assuming he's the Dragonite or Xiaowei, whoever it is, if he somehow beats Dendi's Queen of Pain mid, then I'll even give Yao best solo mid in the world title, because you should not be able to win that matchup.
You should not. You really shouldn't. And I think the lane will be dominated. Let's see if LG have something prepared. Nyx Assassin, again, the hero that I've been favoring quite a bit. Do you go something like, hey, let's just go OD, park him in against Dendi, and maybe it doesn't really fit the draft that well, but it beats the lane, it wins the lane hard. And for me, that's how well LG did last game. They won their laning phase against lanes that they should not have won. I think that's why Navi lost that game.
Yeah, they also executed very well in it wasn't just the lanes, but that gave them the position they needed to have a chance. Like games 1 and 2, they didn't really have a chance because of how much they got destroyed in the laning stage. So now for Navi, they'll work on their last pick here. They've got their solo mid, they've got their 2 supports, and it's just Funnick's hero. The question will be answered soon. If they want to go for a Bounty Hunter, good against Shadowblade Nature's Prophet, can really punish that. Good against Nyx if you can track him in time before he goes in Vendetta, depending on where the Nyx is. But mostly for the Prophet, I feel, and gives them some late game potential. Yeah. Aside from that, there's the Windrunner. Ooh, I can't think of anything else really.
Yeah.
The Darkseer's been banned. Prophet's on LGD's side. He plays Clinks, but I don't think it's a Clinks game.
I haven't really studied Funnick as a player, so I don't really know his other kind of more unique heroes.
Yeah, I haven't really seen him play heroes like Beastmaster or kind of those unusual off-laners that much.
Clockwork or something like
Clockwork.
That. I think that Nyx Assassin has a chance to go in the mid lane. He loses to Queen of Pain thanks to passive harass, but he keeps Queen of Pain staying mid by mono burning her, and she can't gank that well. So Xiaowei has been playing that in the past. We haven't seen it lately. I don't expect that, but that's a possibility to keep at the back of your mind.
And for LGD, the most likely question is who's their tri-lane farmer right now? With Rubik and Nyx picked up, probably DK and Prophet, your 2 solos this game, or just a jungle Prophet and an abandoned off lane. What kind of carries are left for them? There's no Gyro this game. There's no Lifestealer.
You know what's a good way to end a best of 5?
What?
An AM farming for 80 minutes. Let's go, guys.
Let's get hyped!
AM actually fits in the lineup. A ton of magical damage. You get a BKB on the AM, and they ban out the Clinks. What a respect coming out from LGD China.
Actually, NAVI could have gotten with the Nyx pick, I think they could have gotten away with the Clinks because Rubik Nyx plus whatever this third pick is just wouldn't be like a crushingly strong tri-lane.
Well, but you want to give him that safe lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, regardless. So, Bounty? Enigma?
For NAVI?
For Navi. I mean, Chen's... Or Puppy's been... I keep calling Puppy Chen because, like, they're the same thing to me now, how well he plays that hero.
Well, I still think it's a Funnick hero, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tough. Very tough.
I think now Dendy, after pushing Puppy off the chair, be like, man, Puppy, I need some help with this
Is
draft.
he going to pick a Pudge here? Everyone wants a Pudge. Everyone wants a Pudge.
Again, DK beats Pudge mid. I'm going to just say it here.
Yes, he does. He definitely beats
Yeah,
Pudge.
he easily beats
Bruno's just such a DK hater. He's letting his hate blind him. It's consuming him. Hate
Wow.
is the path to the dark side, Bruno.
Love also blinds, and he loves DK. Oh, there's a bounty hunter.
Funnick
pickup.
Bounty Hunter. You were right in the end, Lumi. Good against Shadowblade Nature's Prophet.
Yep.
Very good against him.
So now it goes back to LGD. I think they're drafting the carry. Although I guess Dragon Knight could be the carry. They have never played it like that.
Is
so.
it a Luna? Is it a... Well, she's not that good in the tri-lane is the main issue, but is it some sort of pushing carry? Maybe even a Sylar Lone Druid here? Because you look at Na'Vi, they have cooldown. They have Queen of Pain Sonic Wave, which is very long cooldown.
Luna.
Pushing carry.
All right.
But they've got to get through the tri-lane. Their tri-lane is kind of crappy. Rubik, Nyx, Luna. That Luna in particular is just very vulnerable.
I wouldn't call this the best trialing ever.
It's maybe not crappy.
It's okay.
It's not the strongest
It's
tri-lane.
like pretty weak, yeah.
I'm very curious to see if Na'Vi will go aggressive and get the Bounty Hunter 1v1 against the Prophet, or if they're going to play defensively, but we should probably introduce the match on a proper note. It's LGD China on the dire side. It's Game 5 of the Alienware Cup Grand Finals, brought to you by Beyond the Summit, made possible by Alienware, MasterCard, our sponsors, and then, of course, DPM Interactive, our lovely organizer. LGD China on the dire side. It all comes down to this. They want that 25 grand. They want the respect of taking down Na'Vi when Na'Vi pushed them to the limit. Yao, the Dragon Knight. DD, a little all chat from him. Playing your Rubik, your 5-position support. DDC, your 4 on the Nyx Assassin. We'll take a look at Sylar, your carry player, the Luna. Slow to leave the base. Shao 8 playing the Nature's Prophet. Maybe they're actually eating because they're really slow to leave this base. And then on the Radiant side, we've got Team Na'Vi. They're going to try and clean house. They've already seen what the Alliance did. They came, they saw, and they conquered. They took down every single Eastern team, went undefeated en route to securing a G1 Land Finals championship. Can Na'Vi make it 2 for 2 for Western teams in the Eastern Hemisphere? We're about to find out. Dendimon, your solo mid Queen of Pain. Funnick, your safe lane bounty hunter. Then the aggressive tri-lane, it looks like. Puppy, the Sand King. Kuroki, the Visage. And last but not least, Havost, who has played a whale of a series. He's had a lot of ups and a few downs on the gyrocopter.
So a couple of key items to point out here. If you look at Dendy, he's not really pulled too much. This is not something you see too often. When Queen of Pain's pulled, she dominates on every lane. But because she's not pulled, maybe DK's going to have an easier time. I highly doubt it.
And he's been pulled, so
Right.
he has one set of tangos.
And
So
meanwhile,
maybe a slight advantage there.
Funnick is pulled, so that's where the goat went. Unfortunately, Funnick, he's going to get himself a 1v1 matchup without Janata. He's been scouting with Shadow Walk. This is definitely a thing that he's been doing quite a bit. But I feel like if he has Janata, Shao Ei's going to have a lot tougher time. That's not going to happen, though.
Havost has an Invisor, and this could be trouble, as our Rubik, DD, very late to enter the lane. Na'Vi, no ward behind the tower, otherwise maybe could have made a go here for a first blood. But still, if they see this Rubik off, they don't know where he is.
What is he doing? He's just, like, hanging out there.
Well, Rubik's walking towards the lane. I think he was just slow to enter. They said food. Maybe he was actually eating.
Well, goddamn. I hope they pause, because I want both teams to be playing, and they're 100%.
Focus.
Yeah.
Focus, LGD. Focus. Stop eating.
It's been a long day, though. It definitely has
It's
been
been a long day for the players, but this is where you're a professional Dota player. You get that second, you get that third win, whatever it takes. Give it your all. The last lane is the Bounty Hunter safe lane versus the Nature's Prophet. And off the bat, I mean, I think a pooled Bounty Hunter should beat the Prophet, but so far Shao 8 is struggling a bit. He's only level 1. He's not really getting many last hits.
Yeah, he will get some once that creep wave goes towards this tower, though. But I think tri-lane, this particular tri-lane up top, it's going to be the kind of X factor. You say that the LG tri-lane isn't too good. What do you think about the Radiant tri-lane?
I think the one issue for them is just getting in range to initiate. And that's where, if Sylar's out too far, he needs DD to have the lift ready. So when Puppy Burrow strikes in, they need to lift Kuroki or Havost immediately to ensure that there's no engagement. DD actually maybe could have gone for a lift, but Sylar's only level 1. DDC just now hitting 2.
Yeah, they need beam on Luna to make any type of go, so.
Yeah, positioning is absolutely crucial. If one of these tri-lanes starts to lose, especially if LGD starts to fall behind, that's where your Gyro gets boots. He can just run down supports with Rocket Barrage. That's where Soul Assumption gets leveled. They're actually going to Grave Chill DDC, but way too far to engage there. So the mid lane, as you would expect,
oh my god.
Dendi crushing. 9 and 7, your Dragon Knight only sitting at 4 and 0. This is what you expect.
This is what a meat grinder looks like for anybody that's running. Oh my god, the CS difference. And Yao, he did okay earlier, but he's going to have a tough time. Once Yao hits level 6, maybe the support could roam here.
Oh, this is so bad. There's a double damage on Dendi. Now, Yao could give up our first blood. If Dendi wants to go in, he's 2 points in Shadow Strike. Such a good build just to kill the DK. Yao's got to basically sit behind his tower.
And meanwhile, back on the top lane here, the Navi support doing a very good job, at least to challenge this pull. But LG's getting that pull off, so a little bit of experience going to the supports.
I think they're losing all 3 lanes. I don't think they're getting completely destroyed in all 3 lanes, but they're definitely losing them. Funix out farming on the bottom lane. He's going to have a fast level 6. He's getting a bit of harassment, but still getting the level, still out farming. Mid lane, Dendi's crushing, as discussed. And then top lane, Havost is the one getting the farm. The pull's been blocked, so LGD actually can't do a whole lot. Wow, Yao dropping very low mid.
He's got salve. He's got an empty bottle, or a full bottle.
The DD wears off. He'll dodge the bullet there. But yeah, they're winning all 3 lanes for Navi. LGD's lineup can fall somewhat behind, but I don't think they're the kind of lineup that can just get crushed in the laning stage and come back easily.
Well, they do have the big push that Luna gives you, right? So if you group up as 3 or 4, you get a couple of kills, and you have the threat of that Eclipse, you just go knock down towers after towers. But what you don't get back is all the last hits that you're missing in the laning phase. So Yao feeling a little bit sour. Top lane.
Dendi jumping forward. Not going to go for a kill yet, but 17 and 16. Dragon Knight mid versus Queen of Pain. What are you going to do?
Well, maybe Bruno is right.
Well, everybody knows Queen of Pain meets Dragon Knight, but when you get a Magnus or something, you can take advantage.
Well, Bounty Hunter on the bottom here actually dropping quite low here. Xiao doing a ton of harass. I do not expect him to lose that. He even got an Orb of Venom. Like, Xiao should be losing this lane very badly. But
he's just spamming Trance and constantly pushing the wave. So Funix has to fight against a massive creep wave every time.
And I guess maybe he actually put it home once and then teleport back in the lane to get a free heal or some sort.
Still Funix winning in terms of farm in this lane, and he's going to have his bottle soon. And at that point, he can just bottle Crow a bit if he needs to, because Dendi will have full rune control. Neither team wants to leave this tri-lane. That means Dendi gets every rune. The Prophet for Xiao maybe could TP to contest, but so far hasn't done so. Not sure if Xiao wants to leave the lane. He's probably trying to get level 6 as fast as possible. And that's one other thing we haven't discussed, Lumi, is even if Xiao loses his lane, Prophet's that hero that pops his ult and can just show up, and all of a sudden the tri-lane goes incredibly bad for Navi. Maybe they lose 2 or 3 off of a good Prophet ult TP.
Yeah, I mean, if you're LGD, you know that you're going to lose this lane. Like, you know DK is going to get owned by Quap. You know that the Xiao is not going to have a good time, but they drafted and laned it such a way that they know they're going to be playing from behind from the get-go. And they're still confident running these lanes. So I'm not betting against LGD, despite how poor the early game to go, but they need to have some good recovery.
20 denies on Dendi. He's just showing off at this point because half the time, Yao's not even in experience range. He's hit level 5 now, but Dendi already 6 and then change. Even as a melee hero, it does make a difference. The tri-lane Havo still your lead farmer, 31 to 9. Navi accruing a heavy farm advantage across the board. The strong mid-game ganking lineup, they've got a lot of heroes that can snowball, be it the Bounty Hunter, the Queen of Pain, or even the Gyro. For LGD, more of your solid defensive 5-man lineup in the mid-game. Slightly better team fight, perhaps, with BKBs, but truth be told, a lot of it comes down to what this Rubik can steal. Puppy, trying to contest the pull for the time being. DD working on that last Alpha Wolf. He will zap it and kill it off. And now your Prophet's back at base. Xiao 8 has a TP scroll. Will TP back to the lane, saving his teleport ability for if he needs to help top. He's close to level 6. We could see some movement soon.
No, he teleported back home with the actual teleport, and it's on cooldown for a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, he will have it fairly soon. I don't think the engagement is going to happen quite just yet. I think they need Sand King to have boots to make sure that you actually get that initiation. But what's better than boots? Haste Rune. Is he going to make it go?
Meanwhile, this could be first blood. Yao's in a lot of trouble.
Is Sand King going to make the go here? And Queen of Pain's already there as well. That's going to be the free kill. Stun comes in. Can the tower actually do enough work? Maybe Magic sticks up. The tower shot is going to come. First blood goes to Yao. And my god.
Hasted Puppy almost turned that around. Oh, Dendi.
Wait. What do you say if Yao beats Dendi mid?
That was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, that was really
a 3-hero track kill though, right?
Yeah,
or 2 heroes because Dendi died first. But
yeah.
They don't get first blood, though. That actually hurts a lot, because he was just crushing the lane, and now Dragon Knight only like a quarter of a level behind, whereas before he was about a level and a half. I don't think it completely changes the game or anything, but now Phonics 7, and he can put a lot of hurt on Xiao 8. This could be a track kill. Xiao 8's got to TP out quickly. There's no Shuriken toss, but Dendi says, screw you. Xiao 8, you're going down. Tower will get denied bottom as well, unless these trants are microed perfectly. Yeah, just unlikely they'll see that happen. Can the catapult be the savior? Oh, Phonics, no! He couldn't deny it. He didn't have enough damage. Now they're going to go in Kurogi top lane. He gets impaled. He gets thrown up. LGD China are going to strike back.
Wow.
Score is 2-2. That's a total of 4 heroes getting track gold so far this game. But the tier 1 going LGD's way, that is a big deal, especially because their tri lane was losing the farm more heavily. But this makes up for that quite a bit.
Anything that can go wrong is going wrong.
TPing top right now, wants to make a go on Havos. In comes Xiao 8, Lucent Beam to start, Puppy's there with the stun if necessary.
Nice juke by Xiao 8.
He's already level 5, Xiao 8 will summon Trance, burrow through, that's caught 3! This could be very bad for LGD, they've got to run now. Kuroki giving chase, it's a feeding frenzy, Puppy will go down, Xiao 8 as well. 3 heroes dead, now the track on DDC. That burrow strike might have just cost LGD 3 or 4 kills. Sylar, no way out of this one except running. Dust deployed, the slow will be useful, but they'll lose DDC as well. They at least save the carry. Yao very late to the show. He'll come in now. They do get Havos. They're trading kills, but when you trade kills, track is normally king.
Yeah, it's an even trade here, but I think LGD is still doing quite okay. Luna did not die there. Got level 6 off of that. Has mana 40 Eclipse. Dragon Knight joins in. No ultimate, though. But I think this is go time here. Knock down that tier 1 and start rotating your Luna around and start pushing down every single tower. With Sonic Wave down, there is just no way that they could even challenge this tower.
Yeah,
defense.
we did talk about this Navi kind of lacking in counter push. They've got Call Down Flat Cannon and Queen of Pain ult, but Queen of Pain ult you don't really want to use for counter push. It's a very long cooldown. So LGD can force the towers a bit, but they do have to be careful not to overextend, because if they overextend, then tracks come out left, right, and center, and they will fall quite far behind. It's Game 5 of the Alienware Cup, your grand finals, the last match. After this, one team walks away with 25k, and DDC will be caught. Phonics going to start with the Janata. Now, Dendi thinking to blink in. He's waiting. He'll scream through the trees. Sylar dropping fast. Not going to fall just yet, though, but Navi, they have quite a bit of range. That's the big strength of their lineup. They can just burst you down from distance and very quickly.
They're all trying to give some regen to Sylar. You guys are tracked. Please don't stand next to him. They see. Okay.
Still dropping. Finally going to start bottling up. We'll
Move your treads away from strength, man. Game more. This is such a tense moment if you're Sylar. Like, oh my god.
He needs every bit of HP, though. Like, even those little things make a difference, because he's one scream away from death virtually at this point.
Scream and ult away. Now Dendi has his ult back.
Yeah, the other big thing is Navi didn't have cooldown in that fight. If they had cooldown, that's like 4 heroes dead easily, but he'll have it now, so they'll have to be very careful. And this is where Xiao 8 is kind of the X factor. LGD parked this 4. Navi going to try to do what they did in games 1 and 2, which is not really force the fights, but just sit back and try and outfarm their opponents. In comes DD. He will lift Kurogi. That's a dead Visage. Call down deployed. Now the Impale comes through. They actually Dragon Tail Havos. Oh, it could be 2. Eclipse is available. It'll be pop now. Puppy dropping fast. He'll go down after the burrow. Xiao 8 comes in 2. 5 heroes descend on the lane. And for Navi, just not respecting the initiation of LGD. And once they lose 1, they lose another one as well. 2 to fall. And Navi now trailing 5-6 in terms of kills and about to be down 2 towers.
And this is the power of Luna, right? You cannot defend against Luna because she has so much burst damage, she has so much range, and she deployed everything on Navi, which came in a really poor position, came in 1 by 1 by 1, and LGD...
She's actually the lead net worth hero.
Yeah.
Despite Sylar farming pitifully in the lane, 37 CS at 10 minutes, he's 2-0-3, and that's making the difference. Dendi's on the hunt now, and you know there was such a high chance of snowball. Then he blinked in, got Dragon Tailed under tower,
that's just unfortunate,
and barely escapes. It could have been so much different. Even if he dies but gets the first blood, I feel Dendi would be snowballing right now. But instead, level 9, we can take a look at levels. He is your lead level hero. That's the one concern for LGD. They've fallen a bit behind because they've been grouped so much, but it's a surmountable deficit. And level 6 for their Nyx is coming very soon.
The issue with Queen of Pain on a solo mid position, as opposed to a Beastmaster or a Dragon Knight, if Dendi made that rotation to mid, he got nothing. He got farmed. That's it. Any other solo mid, be a Shadow Fiend, Dragon Knight, that tier 1 tower mid, it would have been dead. So Queen of Pain not being able to push and not being able to capitalize on the lack of hero rotation really punishes on Navi right now.
Dendi, he'll post up mid a bit. He's got something coming on the courier, I believe. Just spent a tiny amount of gold. We might see an engagement. It's an Ogre Club for him. Rushing a BKB. Pretty big pickup this game. Yao maybe in trouble. There's your Janata strike. Now Dendi will unload the ult. Soul Assumption comes through. the easiest and most surgical track kill you'll ever see, and 3 heroes secure the gold. That's what Navi want. Track kills, just clean kills, and then get out and go look for more or back off, either way.
Yeah.
And they're going to find Xiaowei too.
Uh-oh, Xiaowei in big trouble. These guys are walking as a team. That has to be apparent. Where are the hell are the wards for LGD? These kills are coming too easily. They have a lead. They need to maintain that lead. If you look at the go graph, it's go back to the Navi side, despite the fact that LGD's up towers.
Now Navi leading 7-6, 12 minutes in. A very tense start to this game 5. It's still continuing. And Puppey, Navi just seems to be getting a bit more off the map. They're finding track kills. They already have level 2 track on Funnick.
Jeez.
He was the star of this team in games 1 and 2, at least for me. And 2-0 and 3, Safe Flame Bounty Hunter, already level 11. Feels like the star to me of game 5 perhaps as well.
Again, yesterday when they were playing against IG in that game 3, IG had a decent start in their laning phase, and then Funnick just got like 8 track kills in a row. You do not underestimate Funnick's Bounty Hunter. That's why I kept harping on it during the draft, and good to see him doing quite well. And I don't think LGD's prepared. These Sentry Wards need to be down in the river, be down in the lane. Sure, it's expensive, but you guys are pushing towers, so you should have extra gold in your support. 264 worth of extra gold. I've learned.
Yeah, the hard way. You learn that the hard way when you get ganked repeatedly by Vendetta ganks, by Bounty Hunter ganks, all the Invis heroes, even the Clinkses. Sad we're not seeing one this game, but it will be Funnick heading top. He's under cover of Invis, looking for a kill. Hunting towards Sylar. Sylar only level 11, but still tanky. And he'll actually juke behind a tree and go Invis, but he has been spotted. They could spring a trap for him if they've got detection. They'll dust. Funnick in trouble. Lucent Beam to fly. The Impale won't connect. Still they can sprout him. He doesn't have a way out. He could be in trouble. Eclipse comes through. He throws out a last track, but he'll still go down. That's a pretty nice kill. Just unfortunate. He got spotted going in and out of Invis.
Mid lane here. Birds being dropped down tier 1 towers quite low. They're looking for the deny. Stun's going to come through on Kuroki, but so will the call down. DD walks right in. They want Kuroki dead to lift him, but Yao's going to die first. Kuroki still alive. Soul Assumption coming. Puppey with the epicenter. They get the tower kill. Will they get Puppey? That's a question. Burrow Strike will come off couple cooldown, but then he's going to right click him away. There's a Burrow for the kill. Then, DD channels the epicenter, but it's not going to fire off. A little bit too late. Yao's on the run, but so is DDC. Spike Carapace going to reflect it, but just not enough damage output. There's no track there. Thank God for an LGD, but they are still losing so much.
Yeah, 4 heroes falling there, delaying the Luna's BKB. The Prophet dying again for Xiaowei. 0-4 this game. He died quite a few times in the game. They won when he was Prophet, but this is really pushing it to the maximum of what you can give up. Even when it's not track kills, it's just pure levels for Navi. It's still farm. Puppey with a huge initiation. I just can't believe he didn't die in that fight. The LGD just feel like they're a bit lacking on damage.
Yeah, they really are.
They have a lot of bursty heroes. The Nyx, the Rubik can be a bursty hero, and Luna with Eclipse, but when those spells are on cooldown, which right now Eclipse was, it's unable to kill anyone in time.
Yeah, the very unfortunate thing for LG China is that they rely on the Dragon Knight to both do damage and tank at the same time, but he really is having trouble tanking because of the Sonic Wave and all that stuff. I might even just straight up get a casual cloak right now. Meanwhile, looks like I'm gonna make a TP on Havos is gonna... Wow.
He's got his BKB now.
That awareness.
Their ganks aren't going to work again. Like, unless they have 3 or 4 and they chain stun them properly, which is very difficult to do because Navi will probably see a few 5 heroes off the map. He'll just BKB and TP out after a Nyx gank. So he's dodged a huge bullet by farming this fast of a BKB. Havos 90-21, lead farmer in terms of net worth, 3-1-2. And you just see why Gyro is king in all scenes, Europe as well as North America and Asia, because this hero can aggressive tri-lane, he can safe lane farm. He's such a versatile carry, whereas some heroes like Luna just aren't that strong in the laning stage, and you've seen Havos just taking advantage.
I remember the days where Asian Dota did not pick Gyro. Thought it was a bad hero, and now everybody's picking it.
I remember when they didn't ban Wisp too, Lumi. We're long past that stage.
And it looks like we're going to see a tier 1 tower siege, maybe a tower trade. They do have 1 Sentry Ward on the top lane here covering a backstab, but they need something else, maybe on the mid lane. There's a ton of wards from Navi that they could have D-ward as well, but nothing just yet. Here comes Funnick. Gets 1 track, need to get out, but then he's on the run. The dust comes out, that's 1 kill. And get out, DDC, my friend, just get out.
Track, has it been stolen? No, just the Shuriken toss. That's one thing they could really use to turn this around. Funnick's run up the hill, but he's pretty tanky. He's already got drums. Dendy still hunting. Look for the ult. He doesn't have mana just yet. From the low ground, he tries to chip away. Funnick will fall. Dendy will blink out to safety. They lose the Bounty Hunter, but even when he's trading his own life, he's getting track kills for his team. You still got to say, big advantage to Navi. And Havos is farming while this is happening. LGD are 5-manning and coming out even at best.
Yeah, LGD is letting this game slip further and further away from them. I do believe they can make the recovery, but if you look at the item set, Dragon Knight's got a Bracer and Treads. He's got nothing. Sylar, who's doing a little bit better, has Bracer, Treads, and Ogre Club. They need some bigger ticket item. They need a quick BKB. 2 quick BKBs. DD stealing something on the mid lane. It's going to be Soul Assumption. Nice pickup.
LGD really needs a mech on Shao 8 because if he doesn't have a mech, he's just easy pickings for the bounty hunter. And additionally, if he TPs in and mechs a hero up, Navi are all about burst damage. So if you can TP in, mech, negate some of the AoE damage, keep your heroes alive a split second longer, maybe your Luna gets off the BKB, maybe she gets off an Eclipse, maybe the Dragon Knight can just live to throw out another stun. They really need the mech on Shao 8, and all these deaths are just killing him. His CS, 65 and 5, pretty abysmal for a Prophet who went for an early Midas. He's got to stop dying. It's tough against Bounty Hunter, and Navi are doing a great job of shutting him down, but if he doesn't get a mech soon, I think Navi are just going to overrun LGD.
Also, DD's got some gas problem. He's like, if you look at him, he's not walking right now, but
This car needs a tune-up.
it really does.
What's
It
going
looks
on?
like he's got rot or something, but
You
look at
okay?
him. He's farting as he goes.
Jesus. DD, he was eating. He must have had
he
some,
was eating.
some bad beans or something, man. I don't know.
Man, we had some bad beans too. I'm sorry for getting that food for tonight, but
Well, we'll move on with the cast here. LGD China on the back foot, 9-12 your score, 18 minutes in. Navi are leading in Game 5, their deciding game for the Alienware Cup Grand Finals. And on the ropes, LGD, but they've got a strong split push lineup. They've got some heroes that can scale quite well with farm. They just have to hang on. What's going to make it hard for them to hang on is the new items that Navi are getting. Puppey, Blink Dagger coming for him soon, and already the big BKBs out on the 2 cores. Dendi on the Queen of Pain, as well as Havost on the Gyro. Track Gold is the reason why they have these BKBs, and if Funnick gets one as well, I don't know what LGD do against triple BKB. They have very little physical damage. They won't have any for a long time.
go late, farm, AFK, pray.
It's hard to split push against Bounty Hunter, though. This is one of the best heroes to punish split push.
Yeah, definitely. If he doesn't show himself on the other side of the map, you can't split push. And a good bounty hunter will always hide in jungle and not split push. And guess what Funnick's doing right now? Hiding. He will not get seen by you.
Crouching Funnick, hidden Puppey. They're parked together in the jungle for the time being. Funnick moving through the trees. He'll work his way to the side shop. He'll pick something up. Now Havost. They want to group as 5. They want to take the fight to LGD. Double BKB to 0 BKB. Sylar still trying to complete his. In we go now. A Fade Bolt splashes through Havost. Trying to do a bit of damage here. And he'll chip away at the tower. Out comes just a Rubik spell steal. He's actually stolen Soul Assumption.
Yeah, he fired it off to draw the creep wave off the tower, even though it did no damage. So pretty cute play here from him. But
Whatever he can get. Sylar's still only level 9, though. He doesn't have his level 2 ult. Everybody on Navi who really matters has their level 2 ults. This could be trouble. I don't know if LGD can defend this. I don't know if they can afford to give it up either. They are caught in a very difficult position. Such good initiation. Puppey, if he gets this tower, that'll be his Blink Dagger.
Uh-oh.
More or less.
Track stolen. Key mistake here by Funnick. That's no good.
Track stolen is a big deal, but DD is food. Can he actually stay alive to use track? Or will he just die and lose it immediately?
But I mean, this is LGD's like, all right, let's go.
This is kind of their saving grace.
Yeah.
It's a big deal if he can find track kills.
Right, so you get yourself a little bit of opportunity. I thought that tower defense was okay. Normally when LG China defend towers, they park all 5 hero there. They give up the tower because they can't fight, and then they do nothing. But meanwhile, during that, Xiaowei was split pushing up top. He's farming the jungle now. At least they're getting something out of the map. So, and of course, Xiaowei is definitely one of their kind of more important late game carry heroes. So he's got the mech now, like you said. A big part of their team fight is through that mech, and good to see him pick it up right now.
The next thing they need is the BKB on Sylar, and they also need level 11. I mean, this hero, Luna, level 1 ult is very underwhelming. Navi have so many BKBs, sure, the BKBs will keep the carries alive, but the good thing in some ways is that means your ultimate is just going to affect those non-magic immune units. So you're more likely to kill Kuroki, you're more likely to kill Puppey, who might be the most important one of them all. Well, can you actually find Puppey? That's the big question. He's got a Blink Dagger now, and he has also managed to hit level 10, getting closer to that level 2 epicenter. Navi's ability to find pickoffs with a Blink Sand King at 20 minutes is astronomical. LGD have to play some of the most perfect Dota of their lives if they want to have any chance of taking this late. If you're slightly out of position, you get Blink, Burrow Strike, Track. That's a track kill for 2 or 3, and then it snowballs from there the wrong way.
I mean, let me throw the question back at you. Can LG play perfect Dota? Are they a team that's capable of that?
I haven't seen it yet this game. I know they're capable of it at times, but they've been getting picked up on.
DD,
Well,
that's not perfect Dota. You said, where's the track? He lifts it, he tracks Funnick. I guess that's nice, but
yeah.
you do not run down the river by yourself to ward if everybody's missing.
Truthfully, even if they had 5 heroes, they can't run around the river. Because if Navi finds them, Navi's going to kill them with double BKB, with now probably a new item for Havost. Up to 3k gold. He'll have something soon, be it whatever he wants, really. He could go for Butterfly, MKB's fine. Point is, he'll have more items. And LGD aren't really tanky enough to withstand more items.
Sylar is 20 go, now 10 go away from that BKB. I think he just wants to wait it out. The Bird's going to scout him out. They are going to be forced to give up tier 2. If they had track right now, they would be at least tracking some people, getting some vision. If you track Puppy, that's a big deal. Seeing where he's going to jump in. BKB now will get delivered to Sylar. Again, Xiao 8 split pushing.
If they get enough tracks here, Navi could just dive this, and I feel they could pretty recklessly go to the tier 3, but they don't want to be too aggressive. They'll back off. Funnick now working towards his own BKB. He's picked up an Ogre Club. The tower will go to Xiao 8. Funnick unable to deny it.
Again.
A small loss for him.
Just wanna.
Well, he's made up again, but he's made up for it in other ways.
Yeah,
so.
I'm just hating on it. I'm just hating on it. He's playing.
Don't mess with
so
my
well.
man Funnick. He's one of my favorite players. LGD, they are tracked up. DD has been tracked. LGD have to know. Are they trying to sneak a Roche right now? Has DD... Ooh, this could be bad.
Are they trying to D-ward as a team?
He was tracked, but they are moving as a unit. Dendy might say, screw it, I'm going in. He really wants to.
He's got the BKB. He definitely can do it.
Yeah, the main thing is if he might just waste the BKB. If he jumps in by himself, I don't know if they can actually kill anyone during that time. LGD now, 4 heroes backing off. Navi are just out-farming the crap out of them. They lead by about 6k gold, 8k experience.
Nothing new.
And the thing is, while LGD is a strong late game team, I don't feel like they're clearly better late than Navi. If anything, I'd say it's even, maybe a slight edge to Navi because they have track gold.
This is some next level D-warding right now. 4-man goes to the camp, D-ward.
This is what they have to do. Like, that's... You were just flaming my boy for DD for going out to D-ward on his own.
Yeah. Well, that's
the problem, is they have to go as 4 to D-ward, therefore Navi outfarm them, therefore Navi get closer and closer to that critical mass of items where they can just take a big fight and take the game.
Yeah, the big difference between this game and the last one, and the last 2 they've won, is that they didn't have to deal with this kind of global pressure. It's not global per se with the heroes like could TP or Zeus Raph ult. It's global in the fact that, in the sense that they are so mobile. Funnick as well as Denny, they get wherever they want very easily. Now Blink Sanking can do the same thing. So it's tough for any single hero, and even 2 heroes to do their own, and that's why they group up and they get less farm.
For Navi, a bunch of heroes grouped up mid. The tier 1 not quite in deny range, and for the time being, it's up to LGD not to get caught and to try to prevent Navi from taking a Roche. Navi are at that point where I think if they want to go for a Roche engagement, it'll be almost impossible for LGD to fight them head on. They'll have to split push left to stall it. Otherwise, Navi, with this many BKBs and just with this tanky of a lineup, might be too hot to handle. Navi confidently marching through the river, 1 step closer to taking game 5. But LGD are cleaning for their lives. They are starting to farm Xiao 8. He'll work towards his next item. And while this is happening, Navi go for some aggressive warding. You know you're ahead when your Visage is roaming through the enemy jungle at 24 minutes in, all by his lonesome. Placing a ward, now backing off towards mid. Puppy, parked on the high ground. Will they commit to a push? They seem very content to farm.
Hard to actually push the ends. There's so much AoE in the form of Flame Breath, Impale, Fable. They will actually mow down every creep wave. And of course, Xiao A is applying some bit of a pressure up top. That's going to force a TP from Sylar. They're not winning from these tactics. They're definitely delaying it quite a bit.
Oh, Xiao 8 faking a TP. He must have been trolling there. Or just mind games, because TPing in right there. He's got a TP on the tower. Sylar's tracked. Xiao 8's okay. He's got some trance now. They have no vision of this high ground. They've got 3 heroes grouped up bottom. They're going to make a go on Havos. Can they chain stun him down in time? They might be able to kill Havos.
Yes.
They will. That's a big kill. And while Navi want to spring a trap in response mid, LGD back. That's rather costly,
This is the first time in 5
but
games.
they might lose Yao here.
Or will they here? Yao is running up to the right. He gets tracked up. He does have a TP. M15-1. Everybody else is TPing Yao. DDC's gone. And DD's running for the...
DD's so friggin' dead.
I think he
needs
wants
to
Blink.
steal Blink, but he can't get it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Nice thought. That's the only way he could get out. If he steals Blink, maybe he's got a shot.
Right. You say, hey, at least he wasn't a track hero.
If you're LGD, you take that and you say, thank God, we killed Havost.
But that gank on Havos, that was the first gank in 5 games where Navi plays a little bit quote-unquote greedy, right? They say, yeah, we split up the map, we use the map a little bit better, and LGD punished that.
I think Navi have just gotten it into their heads that LGD just aren't going to go for this.
Right, and that's one of the few times that we've seen like a deep gank in front of an enemy tier 2 that actually worked for LGD. So
I don't think it'll work again, though. This is where Navi are like, well, you fooled us once, but now we're going to treat you like other teams that are more aggressive and will play a little bit more 5-man Dota. Also, they were just waiting for his Butterfly, which I believe is coming out now. No, just the quarterstaff, but he's very close to completing it. They're going to go on Yao. The missile deployed. Denny needs 1 more blink to get in range for a Shadow Strike. Yao trying to finish that BKB. Now the cooldown comes through. Nobody's here to help him. TP comes from the Luna. Does have the clips, but there's double BKBs for Navi. Sylar won't do a thing. It's a 10-second BKB down the drain. That's a problem.
yeah, that is a problem. I mean,
Smart dive from Navi.
Ooh, track stolen. Nope.
Shadow Walk.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Not when you're tracked.
Not when you're tracked.
Which he is now.
Xiaowe's still doing the correct thing strategically, though, which is split pushing and just drawing the game out. Because they definitely can't win now. There is no way LGD wins now. If they win, it's going to be in like 30.
Wait, are you just calling flat out the game? I don't think they're out of the game.
No. I'm just saying they don't win now.
Oh,
like they have to play for another 30 to 40 minutes to have a chance.
Okay. I was like, man, LD generally you're very good at.
Not calling
that's
that
my job. That's my fuck up to say no, you don't win. But,
no, GG. Let's go next. There is no next, so they'll fight until the bitter end. I'd be surprised if they don't fight until they are thoroughly beaten. If that is how it goes down. Very passive game number 5. Both teams, they know there's quite a bit of prize money on the line as well as pride. NAVI want to leave China with success under their belt. For the time being, a track comes out from Funnick. And now LGD.
Skeleton walk, whatever that's
the stolen Shadow Walk for Bounty Hunter, allowing him to... Hey, he gets to ward off of this. That's the big thing for DD.
All right. Let's steal Invis so we could go ward.
I don't know if Navi realized that it was stolen, because, I mean, honestly, they could get a gem anyway. It would be a good pickup, because they're ahead enough, and it gives the map control. That's the one thing that's keeping LGD in this game, is any semblance of map control.
Are they really trying to gank Dendi?
Oh, Sylar's got to be careful. He was tracked mid. He will back off. Now they go on Dendi. Dendi, do they have the initiation? The Shadow Walk lift. Now a Vendetta Strike. They need this Impale to come through. They need to burst him down. Gonna hurry. He could BKB. He could blink into the trees. He hesitates for a second, then blinks
That's
north.
fine. That's fine.
And he gets out.
I mean, Xiaowei gets a little bit more farm. He TPs the bot lane immediately because he knows the rotation's coming top. If you're Yao, if you're Sylar, you get the hell out. Get back to your tier 3 towers. Havosa's chasing, but he's not going to do too much. They force Dendi to use his BKB, force him to TP away. That's 5 heroes versus 4 on some side map. Xiaowei draws a couple of TPs on the bot. LGD's out Navi, just using the map better now.
Yeah, they're using it better considering their position.
Yes.
Like, still Navi should
But this is how you come back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This is how you stay in the game. LGD, they're still falling farther and farther behind in terms of gold. Now a 10k gold deficit, a 12k experience deficit. But considering their position, I'd say LGD is doing more with less than Navi right now. But is it enough more with less? That's the question.
Well, let me ask you back. Is LGD's team, did they use gold better? Because
I still think it's pretty even. Gyro, Queen of Pain, and Natural Hex Carrier can actually go for a semi-DPS build late game. They scale quite well. Gyro is probably the best carry in this game. Maybe DK with max inventory, but there's no way Yao's going to farm that for a long time.
I think if Sylar gets max inventory, he gets really scary.
He still needs a Yasha, dude. Like, he needs so many
Yeah,
items.
he was very far. I'm not saying he is.
Avost is strutting around with a butterfly BKB phase boots, and then on Sylar you've got a BKB Abracer and Treads.
Yeah, hey, man. That Basilius, don't forget.
If they somehow get enough farm, they can take it late. Frost Dragon's completely legit. Bounty Hunter falls off a bit in the ultra late game. If you're not killing heroes quickly, you're not finding track kills. He's not.
He provides you movement speed, which is okay.
Decent.
Yeah, but it's not nothing.
He's not a carry hero though, unless you go full YOLO mode and just get a bunch of damage items.
What about Xiaowei? He's going to be your hex carrier, but he's not really.
I think Xiaowei's the most important hero on their team, to be totally honest, because he's the only one who can stall this game. Like, he's the reason that Navi aren't pushing. He's got to continue to find farm, delay the game, show up at the right time to mech, and not get caught. That's a tall order for him. It's been a long day for both these teams, but let's see if he maintains presence of mind as the game drags on. 29 minutes, nearly 30 minutes in. The score 15-10. Navi are leading. Not an overwhelming lead, but close. If they win one big team fight, if they have one big combo, it could all fall apart for LGD. They'll group up as 5 bottom lane. They'll look to make a push happen. Funnick with a double damager and a drum scouting the way. Does he have a BKB being delivered? Just a Mithril Hammer. No BKB yet. He'll head towards the tower. Might have dipped just inside of tower detection range. It is daytime, but it doesn't matter. Navi aren't trying to fool LGD. They're trying to beat them. Well, they're trying to punch them in the mouth, basically. They'll come straight down the bottom lane. 5 heroes grouped up. Can LGD defend?
Xiaowei's going to say, I'm going to get the tier 1 mid, and then say bye-bye.
Guerrilla Warfare. It was Navi's turn last game. It's LGD's turn this game. Both teams know. They knew what they had to do. Navi in last game, LGD in this game. It's just a question of who executes better. The split-pushing team just couldn't get the job done last game. Will LGD fail or succeed where Navi failed? We're going to find out soon. Funnick still hiding in the tree line. He could go for a track if he gets any kind of vision. The tower taking some damage. The familiars scouting things out. They'll stomp now. The track deployed on Sylar. But they will be drawn back soon because of Xiaowei. Xiaowei keeping LGD in this game. He's 1-5, but he's their most important hero to me.
I want to say wax some poetic for Xiaowei's play, but a team fight will break out, so I'll reserve that in a bit. Tier 2 is going to go down.
Have you written a poem for him?
Haiku.
A haiku.
Haiku.
Okay.
I think one of the most difficult game to play. One of the most difficult thing in Dota is to actually recognize where the enemy are with that wards, and Xiaoi's been doing that entire game. Not only is he doing it against just what I said, he's doing it against a bounty hunter, a blink Scythe of Vice on Queen of Pain. He hasn't really died too much. He's 1 in 5, but a lot of those early game death came from the early game. He's been putting in his entire team on his shoulder and really allowing them to stay in the game, and that's really, really impressive. Win or loss, I think Xiao has been playing quite well this game.
Well, you might have jinked. The curse might be in because he's still farming top, and on the hunt is Funnick. He could be in trouble. Does he TP out now? He'll dodge the gank. Maybe you're secretly making him stronger. Special Chinese Wan Lo Cat.
Brofest
today.
Brofest PSI some stuff. All right, here we go.
Wow. He's got the cuter girlfriend, or rather he did. Here comes a big smoke gank, though, from LGD. They want to initiate on a boast. They'll start with an Impale. Puppy's here, waiting. He's backing off to channel a huge epicenter. Eclipse comes through. Kuroki to fall as well. That's 2 core heroes down. Well, a support, but a big one. Now a Burrow. An Epi from Puppy. He wants to turn this fight around and go swing it back in Navi's favor. They found DDC. The Nyx assassin falls. 1 track kill in exchange for 2 kills on LGD, and Xiao
and a buyback.
Immediately top, and a buyback. And Xiao going to push top lane, making it very hard for Navi to go for Roche. Wow, that's about perfect.
I think Navi feels like they have to do something big right now because they bought back on Havos, and if you buy back and don't do anything, you feel...
I want to point out this Rubik is still on Familiars.
Oh, damn. That's a great one to steal because he gets 3, right? Doesn't Kuroki have a... Oh, no.
Yeah, well, it's
I saw a whole bunch of them in the team.
Familiar genocide right now. These Familiars are going down soon. And Navi are going to work on Roche. They don't have their... Well, actually, sorry. They have their BKBs, but they don't have Epicenter for Puppy. I wonder if that'll be a factor. Nobody comes to defend top. The tier 2 will go in the end to Xiao. And now Navi back off of the Roche pit. Yeah, they don't really do Roche that quickly. That's kind of the issue for them. Like you said, it's a lot of magic damage until Havos gets huge. And right now, he's got a Butterfly and a BKB. He's big. He's not huge yet.
Well, Luna's up to Ultimate Orb, so we're almost there. Not Sylar. Xiao got himself a Scythe and also 1k go.
Got him.
They're still down by, almost 10,000, but they're in the game. And I think they're still very, very capable of winning this game.
They are roaming as 5 right now. Sylar is getting close to a Manta style. Manta, assuming that's what he goes for, it doesn't offer you that much against Flak Gyro. It isn't really the best item, but it's just kind of your standard.
Does it debuff
item.
Track?
I believe it does remove track.
Okay. I'm not too sure on that one. Track's one of those more awkward buffs and stuff, but we'll see.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay.
But for the time being, he is getting some farm. Yao's got a long way to go, though. Just the BKB treads. That's almost my biggest concern because sure, Sylar's a bit squishier, but Yao should be the one absorbing the brunt of the onslaught from Navi, and I don't think he's equipped to do it right now.
Well, he's got Ogre Club. He's going to go for basically Sange, BKB, Heaven's Halberg. That's a ton of tanks, so...
Yeah, the that's actually a nice choice because it's very efficient.
Armor?
It's very easy to build. It offers you a lot for the cost. He won't dish out much damage.
Oh, Xiao, he's finally got found Dendy on the case, but without the Scythe, he just TP's out right now, right?
Could Scythe Dendy could go for a TP. He's waiting for the cooldown. He gets ulted. He backs back up, but here comes Puppy. No escape for Xiao. He will go down. Well, eventually the jinx kicks in, Lumi.
Well...
I blame you for that.
Yeah, Puppy played it so well. He blinked in and immediately Sandstorm and basically said, hey, Xiao, if you're going to try to TP, I'll burrow. If you use your Hex on Dendy, I'll burrow. So he's cutting off any retreat path. Very, very intelligent play from Puppy, and they get that kill. And Dendy, defending bot.
Yeah, they find a kill with... The Scythe of Ice complicates matters significantly. This is also where... I mean, if you want to get it... Actually, they have a gem on Kuroki. I was going to say, if they want to go for the Roshan, then I think the gem is the big thing they're lacking, but they have one now on Kuroki. Actually, Prize had it for a while, and we just missed it. They're going to place an aggressive ward, and now I think they're in position where it'll be very hard for LGD
LGD
to take this Roche.
Does have buyback on Nature's Prophet. I don't think Navi is aware of that, so if they crash this party...
there's no crashing this party. How are you getting into the pit? Suicide bomb from the Prophet? I don't
ROTK would do it.
Well, we'll see, but Navi getting a Roche for free.
Yeah.
There's no stolen familiars anymore. Aegis will go to Havos.
That's a big deal, because the last time in that team fight, they focused on Havos by lifting him and killing him before he activated BKB. Can't make that same play anymore, and Havos does way too much damage to be ignored at this point. So I think LGD with that Aegis, in a pretty big deal. They have to turtle for 6 more minutes. They have been turtling for all day, but they can't avoid a fight.
Navi's not going to let them turtle. Come out of your shell, LGD. We just want to give you a hug. There's a Lucent Beam on Havos. Almost sets up a nice Impale. If they could have caught him there with the Impale, maybe could have popped the Aegis, or at least forced a headlong retreat. Instead, Navi will be driven back. They are lacking one big spell. That's the Queen of Pain ult. Otherwise, I don't see much that's stopping them from taking the base if they want. If they want to farm, there's still room to grow. But LGD, ultimately, they're the team that just doesn't want to fight now. So I think it's to NAVI's advantage to push the issue. They'll group up top. They'll try and do a bit of dewarding, as well as secure additional map control. 3 smokes available on Puppey. NAVI, a team that loves to get aggressive, and they've got the tools to do it.
Well, Xiao A, again, keeping both the side lanes pushed. Prophet streams on the bot. He is so annoying. And NAVI moving as a unit of 5. Puppey now.
Yeah, if there wasn't a Prophet in this game, I think this game would have been over 15 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's Xiao A keeping them in the game, but is he winning them the game, or is he just prolonging the inevitable and painful death?
I don't think he's actually prolonging a loss, which is not something I'm a big fan of. I think they're actually putting themselves back in the game. Manchester, we talked about how much he doesn't give in a team fight. It does actually help him farm by helping him move faster.
They want Dendi. He was thinking about turning around, but he got a little greedy, perhaps. Went for the last creep. The entire ganky party of LGD descends. A huge kill on Dendi. You can't even say he was being cocky there, because he was at his friggin' tier 2.
Again, another gank that I don't think Navi was expecting. The LG plays so passive throughout the entire game, but if they see opportunity, they go for a big smoke and a big pickoff. I think trading tier 2 is okay.
If Navi was playing, say, Virtus Pro, there's no way they would not be expecting these guys.
Right.
But it's LGD. It's a team that maybe lulls you into a false sense of security with their generally passive play and then says, surprise, we actually do know how to gank, we just don't like to do it 90% of the time.
I usually don't gank, but when I do.
They've sung a beautiful lullaby to Navi, and Navi, well, Dendi will take a trip to the fountain. Will spend a little bit of time on the sidelines here. But still, Navi take the last outer tower. They've taken the tier 2 top. They're getting closer and closer, it feels, to at least making a go for the high ground. As you look at Navi, they lead by 12k gold. They lead by 18k experience. Lumi, what, if anything, are they waiting for?
Navi.
Yeah, Navi. Is there an item?
Satanic on the
Is the Roshan number 2?
No, they have the Aegis. I think if they're pushing now. I think they might be waiting for Havos' Satanic, but really don't think that's a necessary factor. They're waiting for these lanes to be pushed out, which is quite annoying. I think Bounty Hunter should spend his 2k on a Vlad's right now and just go. I feel like they're strong enough to take a base fight. Sure, there is Eclipse, but the BKB take care of most of that. And I don't think Dragon Knight at this point does enough damage or tanking to warrant more farm. So I think Navi should go now with the Vlad's pickup and maybe pick up the Reaver on Gyrocopter.
Speaking of that, Gyrocopter, Havos parked in the middle lane. He's got the gold just about for the Satanic. If he wants to go for it, it's coming soon.
He bought the recipe in base, and he
bought the recipe. Yeah. The Satanic's coming now, and Dendi's looking to find a pickoff here. Yao is caught, force-staffed away by DD, but Dendi blinks forward. He throws out a Shadow Strike. DD stolen the Scream, now retreating. Puppey's blinked over the top. He's caught Yao, who wanted to hold on to that BKB maybe a bit too long. Now Funny comes in, can't finish DD. They're all dropping low, but is anyone actually going to die? Yao still running the Golden Dragon. He's alive. Havos brings him down. He dives him all the way. Now the Eclipse comes through. He'll lose the Aegis, but he's coming back in. Comes Puppey with a huge epicenter. Sylar on the run. Sylar to fall. 4 heroes dead. Now Dendi wants a team wipe. He'll get it. Shall wait. The last hero dead, and Navi have done it. They've broken the back of LGD China, and even if LGD China holds for now, eventually it seems they're going to fall. That is just an overwhelmingly bad team fight. Great play from Navi.
Yeah, I think they should have sacked the Dragon Knight and maybe just try to defend 5v4, but because Dragon Knight was so low, he popped this BKB, tried to run, didn't do anything. Rex now down. Luna bought back, but she's sitting in the base, almost as if she shouldn't have bought back.
Yeah, just what does it matter? No BKB, no Manta, no Eclipse.
Does not matter.
You can sit at Fountain while they take your Rex, you can be dead while they take your Rex. Either way, they're taking your Rex.
Now split pushing gets a lot more difficult. I don't think they're going to lose this mid-Rex as now everybody's back alive. They are going to take a tier 3 tower. Rubik comes back in, 4-staff on Puppey. Does he have Blink? You got to hit him. They
stole Burrow. He stole Burrow. It could be a big spell to steal. Burrow on 3 by DD. Is there the necessary follow-up? That's the question.
The stuns are coming in from Kuroki. That breaks all of chain stun here. DDC's on the run. He goes invis. He's dead. Sylar is also on the run, down to about a quarter, but now everybody's now in front of tier 3. I think Navi's going to take the Rax right now, and with that, the game, I just don't think LGD has enough gas. They're in a desert. And there's no gas station anywhere.
They're dehydrated. There's no gas station. There's no way to get this car back on the road. Navi have done it. 2 lanes of Rex. Soon it will be 3. They are going to be your Alienware Cup for Grand Finals champions. They'll be first place. They take home all the prize money as much as possible. 25k to them. plus some bonus money as well. It's just a matter of time at this point. Havos will BKB, celebrating in the enemy base. Now he goes in. He's got a Satanic. Everybody for LGD melting their last moments in Game 5. It's coming to an end soon. Denny blinks forward. They want Sylar. They'll find him with a Shuriken toss. Now a burrow through him, Puppy. Catches 2. Yao to fall. Xiaowei soon, and the GG from Xiaowei. Navi, they came, they saw, and they conquered. They will repeat what Alliance did at the G1 League Land Finals. They didn't go undefeated, but they go all the way. They finish first place in the Alienware Cup, and they give Western Dota a very big boost heading into the International 3.
Absolutely impressive performance from both games, but that last team fight, one key mistake by LGD, and that's all she wrote.
Apparently we have 99,000 viewers watching. Maybe we can break 100. What a tournament it's been. I mean, I couldn't think of a better way for it to end.
Best of 5 going to Game 5. I don't think any game that has dropped 2 games in the beginning has ever made a comeback in a best of 5 series. I thought LGD was so close. They would have made some history, but it was not meant to be.
They did what they needed to, right? Which was Queen of Pain for Denny mid. A dominant snowball here that can just shut down Dragon Knight. If they had gone for like a Magnus or something passive, I think LGD probably would have won this game, but they went with what they're best at. Aggressive tri-lane, early game pressure, just fight early and fight often, and keep on rolling.
Yeah, but also somewhat show what Navi needs to work on. They're the champions, so I don't want to harp on it too much, but the split push from Xiaowei, they need an answer to that, because it was just wrong in the game out.
There was those moments where it felt like their attention was flagging a bit, but it's been a long day.
Yeah.
They might just be tired for all we know. LGD was eating at the beginning of this game, so the players perhaps not at peak performance right now, but still, you got to give it to Navi.
Oh, they play well.
They played fantastically, and in the end, Bruno was right.
Yes! Yes! I love to be right. Ha!
And so modest, too.
Well, I try, you know. I fail, but I try. So, Ben.
What's up?
Let's not even talk about the game, because we're going to talk about the game later, but let's talk about this series. How good were these series, right? I mean, I was talking to some people on Twitter, and I was saying this looks like Rocky 5. I don't know if you watched that movie.
I did not.
Okay, so Rocky is now this old guy. He beat Ivan Drago, which incidentally is Russian. And he is like at his prime, but he is going there. Like the first 2 games of Navi, he has the world ahead of him. But he fails, he has some like problems, he gets some head injury, brain injury, he can't fight. There comes this new challenger that is actually his trainee, and he beats him, and he pretty much takes him to nowhere. He's back to poverty, he's back to nothing. He loses his friends, he loses money, he loses everything. And there's this last fight, and they're like, we're not settling this in the ring, we're just going street fighting, you know? Not the game Street Fighter, like actual street fighting. And they come along, and there's this young team. LGD is actually a very young team. All the players are mostly like below 20, 21 years. And Navi, this experienced team, they go street fighting, and Navi dominates. Like, they show that they've never lost their touch, that they're still the number 1. The team that won the International 1, that almost wins the International 2, ended up in 2nd place. And now they go to China, and they dominate Asia. That's the story. And is it deserved? Did Navi win this tournament deservedly?
Deservedly? Is that
Is that even a question? Of course they did.
Yeah.
I mean, was there any other team apart from these 2 that you think may have had a chance and were unlucky?
I mean, I think IG played pretty well. They did 2-0 Navi, and a lot of teams beat Navi out in this tournament.
Right.
It wasn't like a complete stomp like Alliance at G1. And it is a scenario that you set up earlier where the 2 Western teams, well, individually, one for G League, one for Alienware Cup, have come to China and have shown the Eastern Dota scene who's boss.
Right.
And last year it was IG taking a trophy home at TI2, and now it's in the last month it was Alliance. This month is Navi. Next month is going to be the real question at TI3. But I think you described it like all the Eastern teams have something to prove now, and they've held the throne for quite a long time now. And now the throne's been toppled. There's a new king, and can anyone take Navi down or Alliance?
Well, it's going to be hard, because I think these 2 teams have proven that they're the best in the world right now. I mean, Navi and Alliance, 2 teams that get regularly all the tournaments in the West. They share between the 2 of them 80% of all the important tournaments. And now they both go to China, and they both prove that they are above the Eastern tournaments. And I think they show that we're at least 1 step above the other guys. It's going to be interesting what happens to see what happens in TA3. But for now, Navi gets $25,000 LGD will have to resignate themselves to just get 12K. Like, what can you do with so little money?
I think these teams, we've seen the strengths and weaknesses of both teams. I think Navi needs to improve a little bit on their late game. For example, their Shadow Fiend plus 2 other carry strategy versus whoever team it was. I think it was LGD, China. They lost out in the late game, and LGD is, I think, the stronger late gamer. If they come out even in the first 20 minutes, they'll usually win in the later 40, assuming it's a 60-minute game. And on the flip side, if Navi gets off to a really good start, they just usually snowball with it, and most of the other teams in this tournament cannot handle that sort of early aggression, and it's really amplified by a hero like Bounty Hunter. You can just really see how their early aggression pays off, and it just snowballs so much better, and it's so much more visible, and you can feel the pressure on LGD. They can't really do anything. They just had to rely on Xiaowei, but it was just delaying the inevitable.
Right.
So I think that if Navi can improve on their late game a little bit, and I also like how they played to their strengths. They just played really aggressive strategy, Dendy on Queen of Pain, punishing the Dragon Knight that we've been talking about for the whole entire tournament, and it just things went so well for them. If they stick with that, stick with their core. I mean, Phantom Lancer without Keeper Light is not really their strategy, right? And it didn't really work out for them, but I like to see that they're trying to expand their strategies, and I mean, doing it in the grand finals of Alien World Cup, that's pretty big balls.
Yeah.
Not balls far away from the walls.
I want to point out something. From last year's score at the International 2, Navi had 2 roster changes, which were Fanik and Kuroki. And these 2 players have performed amazingly well. You remember the Rubik in the game 1? He got Blink Dagger, Force Staff, Arcane Boots, Ghost
Phoenix
Scepter,
Clinks.
Phoenix Clinks. Also Darkseer on game 2, game 1 was quite impressive as well. At the end, the Bounty Hunter. How well these 2 players have adapted to Navi's team, and it's not only just like Dendy, Hevos, and Puppy, and maybe.
Well,
just
Empire
two.
just like fell apart without Funnick, and I think Funnick was the key player. He has a mean Bat Rider, a mean Wisp, which he never plays anymore, but he just usually dominates in that solo lane, in the off lane or the safe lane solo, regardless. Or they usually give him like a fairly winnable matchup. They give Dendy fairly favorable matchups too, but he really takes it home, drives home the W in that lane, and just takes off so much pressure on Navi, so those 2 supports can do whatever they want. They never really need to go help Funnick out, right? And if nothing else, he just goes to the jungle and then makes an impact after farming for 15-20 minutes, unlike a lot of other players that we see.
Absolutely. So well, that's pretty much the story of the tournament. Remember, in the top 4, it's Navi goes first, LGD China goes second, IG goes third, and DK goes fourth. So it's pretty much kind of like the International 2 with IG and LGD swapped between them. And with that in mind, and also thinking of teams in the Western scene like Alliance, we have Mouse, we have Virtus Pro, we have Fnatic, Team Liquid, Team Dignitas going to TI3. Give me a tentative, like right now, a top 3 of the teams in the world.
Top 3, and I'll just say top 3 for Eastern and Western. It's clearly IG, LGD, China, and DK. Oh, I mean DK maybe they're like kind of hesitant versus Tongfu.
Yeah.
So I think DK and Tongfu maybe tied for 3rd, and then in the Western scene it's clearly Navi and Alliance on top, and everyone else just way below. And I don't exactly know what it is. It seems like a lot of the teams have like not practiced as much since they got invited to TI3. They just taken it really slowly. I haven't seen anything new coming out from a lot of teams other than Alliance and Navi. Yeah, and those are only two teams. Or I guess Liquid went to China too, but Liquid did not have a great performance at G1. But those are only 2 teams that have gone to the Eastern scene and be like, we are the champions. We dominate. We have adapted to 6.78. We have new strategies up our sleeve, and they're very adaptive, and I think that's one of the key strengths to a championship team.
Well, clearly looking forward to that. But of course, this was the Alien World Cup. 14 days of lots of Dota, sleepless nights for us.
It was good Dota.
It was good Dota. It was very entertaining. Hopefully, we'll have a season 2. Of course, for that, go to facebook.com/alienwarecup, twitter.com/alienwarecup. Like, follow, whatever, send messages. We love you. We want a season 2. We want more money. We want free Alienware laptops to all the casters. Because we want that, right?
Who doesn't?
Yeah, of course. Do you want that, guys?
I'll take an Alienware laptop.
Yeah. So if
do a
you
raffle
let
laptop
Alienware
too.
know about that, yeah, we can probably get something done. So I'm going to go back to Lumi and LD in a second, but just first,
Wait, where's the rap time?
Yeah, reminding the people, this is not over yet. It's about time for Lumi to rap, because he lost this bet where he was supposed to rap an Eminem song, Lose Yourself, which he's going to do in a minute. But first of all, I want to give LD and Lumi the wrapping words about the tournament. Whatever you want to say about this week, weeks, and whatever.
Bet responsibly, Lumi.
Open your hearts, guys.
Well, it's been a unbelievably amazing tournament. We nearly hit 100K viewers just on our stream alone. I believe the Russian stream had like 60 or 70K. The Chinese are on national TV on TV for GameFi, as well as having a stream probably in the 100,000s, I would guess. The turnout was incredible, but it's not us. It really is the teams, as well as Alienware, MasterCard, and the tournament that make everyone so excited. So I'm personally honored that so many of you tuned in. I hope you enjoyed our coverage. If you want to support Beyond the Summit, you can subscribe to the stream. It helps us do better production in the future. But most importantly, be sure to thank the sponsors. If you enjoyed the broadcast, tweet at Alienware APAC or APAC, Alienware APAC. Let them know you enjoyed it. Let MasterCard know as well. Tweet them your thanks. There is also a Facebook and a Twitter for the Alienware Cup. Facebook.com/Alienware Cup. Twitter.com/Alienware Cup. And then AlienwareCup.com. You can like the Facebook page. You can follow the Twitter. And visit the website. There's spoiler-free VODs there. Hopefully we get to do another one of these, because this one was pretty special. And only an online event, but it, to me, felt like a lot more than your regular online Dota tournament.
It really does. And thank you for doing the business side of the shout-out. So let me do the personal side. I guess I could speak for BTS when I say that it's such a lucky opportunity to work with Bruno, to work with James, and of course with Blitz, Purge, and of course Merlini coming in. We don't get the opportunity to work and hang out with these guys a lot. And Alienware, DPM Interactive, and MasterCard has made it very possible for us to do that. I've learned quite a bit working with these guys, and I'm sure you have as well. And what better way to cap it off is to cast some of the most amazing Dota we have casted together. We casted some amazing games.
We've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, we have.
I think of a better way to cap it off, actually.
We'll leave that for later. I've also been swindled in these couple of days.
Yeah.
I've been like a mule driving everybody around.
And every time you flip-flop, that team loses?
Yeah.
The sky.
So, I don't know. But it was a grand old time. And, of course, thank you guys for supporting us and tuning in. Can't ask for a good crowd like you guys, so.
Yeah. You're a vile crowd at times. You're a loud and obnoxious one, but you're our crowd, and we love you. And on that note, I think that concludes our coverage, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to NAVI. They are your Alienware Cup champions. LGD Dota finished second. They did pretty well. IG, your third place team, and so on and so forth. For full results, you can visit alienware.cup. But it's a wrap here at the studio. The only thing left now is going to be a Lumi wrap.
What?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
You have to wrap.
So how are we going to do
Okay,
this?
so
Don't renege on your bet.
This is how we're going to do it, right?
Got the lyrics.
You have the lyrics, okay? Because I mean, so long days. I know that you hadn't time to memorize them all, which is fine. It's perfect. Kawa. We can either put. I think the easiest way is to put the karaoke version, but he will not be able to.
Do you have a link for?
All right, here's my suggestion.
Okay.
LG?
Here's my suggestion. Bruno, you trade seats with LD. Because you're going to be rapping alongside with me.
Okay,
for
I'm
some
going to
parts,
rap
right?
alongside you.
Yeah,
it's not.
so-
I didn't even lose the bet. I don't know why I'm doing
You
this.
said you would do it.
He sucked
it's a
you in.
moral
I'm
backup,
okay.
right?
I'm okay. I'll give you support.
Support. All right.
I'll
First
give
of
you
all, okay.
support.
So what we're gonna do? Everybody in. You have speaker on there, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna load up the song. You can load up the karaoke version or whatever. We're gonna all hit at 0. Kawa loads it up as well.
No, Kawa can just use the audio from this.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we say 3, 2, 1, go. Replay cast style. Which I do, by the way, luminousinverse on youtube.com. Shameless plug.
All right, here's your headset. Oh, you got Bruno.
Whee! I have a headset. Is it like this? Yeah, I'm a pirate.
Welcome to the Matrix.
So at 0, we hit play
Right.
and we go.
Okay.
And I'm fucking so nervous right now. You don't even know. This is more nerve-wracking than casting TI3 finals, but
Is it? Do you know
No
do you have the
problem,
link?
no problem.
Do you have anything?
just YouTube search it.
Okay. So which one do I have? The karaoke or the?
I don't care.
How about you take us to a break? Or I take us to a break.
Yeah.
Get it all set up.
All right, when we
I
come
li-
back,
I like
Lumi's
this.
gonna drop some bombs.
Yeah.